It's years since Abu Omar has been anywhere near this building. In 2003, the Egyptian cleric was arrested by CIA agents in Italy for his alleged links to Al-Qaeda. He was handed over to the Egyptian authorities and detained by the country's notorious state security.
This is the first time I've seen this building from the outside. I've got mixed feelings. I feel both fear and joy about its demise. I was always blindfolded, and my hands and feet were bound.
He told us how he was interrogated and tortured here.
I was suspended from a metal door with my arms and legs tied, and then they would put me on a mattress and electrocute me.
Abu Omar was finally released after the authorities found no evidence against him. He still sees his lawyer, as he's now suing the former head of the Egyptian intelligence, Omar Suleiman, over his detention. Like Abu Omar, thousands of Islamists were targeted by state security.
For the past 30 years, Mubarak has used emergency laws in the fight against terrorism. And for the former regime, terrorists meant Islamists.
For many, Egypt's fight against terrorism became a witch hunt. HISHAM is a former state security officer. He resigned 4 years ago, appalled at abuses perpetrated by the organization.
Everybody was just trying to protect the regime, or in other words, to protect Mubarak's family on the top of the regime, which is something that I couldn't accept.
Mossab was one of thousands of pro-democracy protesters who stormed state security buildings across the country in March. It was an historic moment for the young revolutionary.
It was incredible, actually. It felt surreal at times, because having just a few numbers surrounds a building which brought fear and terror to people's minds, and some were actually afraid just passing by it.
They found classified documents they say prove the crimes of the formidable organization.
Those documents are detailed files for Islamists who were being under surveillance, but everyone was actually being watched there. Everyone there had his own, his personal life and activities being recorded there.
The era of surveillance is apparently now over. The state security has been replaced with a national security service. Its role is to combat terrorism.
The institution for national security is completely different from the former state security organization. It will not interfere in the work of freedoms of political parties, unions, students, or workers.
But for many revolutionaries, the organization has just changed its name.
A lot of the old faces are still there. Unless there is a law to regulate their work, then we cannot trust it until we see the product that comes out.
Like Ahmed, the pro-democracy activists are keeping a wary eye on the new security apparatus. A fragile gain, won in Tahrir Square.